This video is brought to you by Squarespace, the easiest way to create a beautiful website where you can sell products, content, and manage your business. There is yet another pixel art farming simulation game taking the gaming community by storm. Well, my gaming community. I don't know about all gamers. Imagine a farming game where you don't have to fill your watering can. You don't need to lug around cooking and crafting materials in your inventory. Items in chests are always readily available. You can walk in anywhere, at any time. The shops are always open. Lest I forget that the dateable villager portraits are hot. Very hot. Fields of Mistria. Look at this beauty. The portrait art style here reminds me of 90s anime, a la Sailor Moon. And the pixel art is a perfect pastel aesthetic. The art direction alone is what made me want to buy this game. The world, too, it's not set in the modern day, but some distant past time. Not a phone in sight, just vibes. The catch, it's still in early access. Yeah, so what does that mean? For $13.99 on Steam, you get served whatever the hell they have ready to go on an incomplete platter. You should not expect a full gameplay experience. However, at this point in time, we can see that they are trying to be consistent with implementing new updates. They're planning on adding even more to the game already on November 18th of this year. Right now, we can only befriend and romance up to 4 hearts. They're bumping us up to 6 and adding all new heart events. A new festival, higher skill caps. You guys can read. It'll be even more than what I am showing you today. Gonna be honest, I think that $13.99 is a very fair price for what you get here. I played about 40 hours before I hit the early access brick wall about 1 year in game, and I have a very positive review of this game in general. Fields of Mistria feels like a love letter to farming games that came before it. And as somebody who grew up with Harvest Moon, and is super Stardew pilled, I very much enjoy what they have so far. There's even a little bit of like Animal Crossing influence, you know, sprinkled in here and there. Do we need another pixel art farming sim, life sim, dating sim, RPG? No. I've always said that Stardew Valley is the gold standard of the genre, but I think that Fields of Mistria is not only trying to do something a little bit more unique and special, but of really good quality. And truly, that has been too much to ask for from the people that have been trying to cash in on the farming sim craze. Fields of Mistria tries to get a lot right. I'd give this game an A- on their report card. That is pretty damn high. And you know what? I will tell you at the end of the video why it's not an A+. For now, I will gush. The main thing that caught my complete and undivided attention, the villagers, the way that they interact with each other is next level. Sure, you can talk to your hotties one at a time, but more often than not, they're engaged in group dialogue with other townsfolk, inviting you to join in on their existing conversation. I never even ran into an instance where the same group conversation happened twice. I am fully blown away with the way that they allowed me to build this relationship with the townies and watch them interact with each other. I just want to see more, okay? I'm very excited about it. I'm feeling really good about Fields of Mistria, and it's not even done yet. It is for sure, by far, my favorite new farming sim game that I've played this year. I do need to stress that while I did have a full year of fishing, farming, mining, diving, dating, I don't know what else, bug catching, holy shit. It is not a complete experience. But I'm still excited to show you my first year in Fields of Mistria. But first, I would like to show you just how easy it is to set up a beautiful, gorgeous, and professional website using today's sponsor, Squarespace. I'm just not convinced that all of you small business owners out there know just how simple it is, and I think you need a quick example. We're going to use Design Intelligence by Squarespace today to make a website from scratch. For today's example, I am going to be starting a photography business. Liss's Epic Photography. That's a hard word to spell. Brand personality. I think I'm gonna go with something a little bit more playful. So using Squarespace Blueprint, I am able to build my homepage. Of course, we would like to start with an intro. As a photography business that operates in person, I'm gonna add a services section. I'd love for my clients to be able to make appointments and get to know me a little bit better. And now we can customize what kind of pages we would like: about, contact, services, appointments. My color palette. Ooh, I'm liking everything that's in the playful section. I'm gonna go with this one. There's a lot of good fonts to choose from here. Climate crisis. Let's go with Climate Crisis. Shout out Climate Crisis. And then from there, I was able to add in images to show off my photography business. All of these gorgeous professional images that I have taken. And this takes seconds, guys. More about our brand. I want everybody to know that I love Eggs Benedict. Not only can you make your template from scratch using Squarespace Blueprint, but there's hundreds of beautiful and specialized and professional templates that Squarespace has to choose from already. And Squarespace's services do not end there. When selling goods and services online, Squarespace offers flexible payments with many popular payment methods. Squarespace has great SEO tools to help you get noticed on the web. There's just tons of incredible tools to not only help you manage your business, but grow it into something that you've always dreamed of. Go to squarespace.com for a free trial. Once you're ready to launch with your custom template, head to squarespace.com/listthelass, or you can use my code listthelass, and you'll get 10% off of your very first purchase of a website or domain. Special thank you to Squarespace. Now let's go ahead and dive into Fields of Mistria. The game starts with this opening cutscene. Ayland visits his sister, Adeline, and they get to talking about the town's revitalization plan. An earthquake has damaged Mistria, and they need more hands on deck to help with repairs. With mother and father called away to the capital and people leaving after the earthquake, there certainly are fewer helping hands around. If only we could attract new villagers to move here. Mistria is such a beautiful place. The small town charm, the rich history of the area, the rolling farmland. That's it, the old farm south of town. Adeline proposes exchanging the farmland for help around the town. I wonder who will answer the call. Me, girl. Character creation is fun. It's beefy, for sure, lots of options. After naming my character, choosing my birthday, and naming my farm, I was plopped into Mistria. Whoa, 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 whoa. Like, I'm sorry, are you talking to me? Because I am not hearing a single word, babe. Valor, our sexy Mistria merchant, escorts us to the farm where we get our first look at the house. A diary where we can save our progress, Harvest Moon vibes. A bed for sleeping and saving too, a calendar, and a storage chest. Pretty standard. Celine, our neighbor, drops by the next morning to give us a hoe and some seeds, and we're interrupted by Hayden, who runs Sweetwater Farm to the west. He gives us a watering can and offers to give us some farming tips. This is all pretty intuitive for us farming sim enjoyers. Something interesting though is field expansion. If we want more crop field space, we're gonna have to figure out how to get a shovel to expand what we have right now. Something weird that I do notice right away is that the scroll wheel is flipped. So, you know, like scroll up to go backwards. Babe. Not gonna work for me. I'll just go ahead and swap that over. And now we plant. I guess I had come to Mistria with a sword in hand, so I used that to harvest some fiber before heading up and into the town. Immediately, I am lost as fuck. I can't figure out where the hell I am, so I got a little distracted before seeing some familiar faces. And then I finally made my way over to Adeline in the town square. She shows us the request board where new requests from the townies will be posted every day. The key thing to note here is that not only do quests reward money and equipment and clothes and things, but a new thing called renown. Mistria is a part of the Kingdom of Aldaria, and each town receives a town rank depending on their renown level. Towns with higher ranks get cool stuff, apparently, but Mistria's is pretty low because of all the earthquake damage. I feel like that's not totally our fault, but okay, we'll work on it. My first request, meet everyone in the town. Adeline then explains relationships to us. So far, everybody has been kind of giving us tips and pointers about how things work. I feel like this is a good introductory farming sim for people who haven't played much in the genre before. Some of them tend to just throw you into the mix for the most part, but this one's a little bit more hand-holdy initially. God, I love that the map accurately shows where everyone is. game changer. The map is huge too. There's a lot of different sections to go explore, so I'm a little overwhelmed, but having the location markers helped me locate everyone in just a few hours. One note about the pronunciation here, okay? A pronunciation guide supposedly exists. At some point, they had paid creators to play this game and had given them a demo version and given them a pronunciation guide for some of the characters. So I heard about this and I was like, hey, can I please get a pronunciation guide? And I didn't hear anything back, so I tried my best based off those creators' pronunciations in their streams. But I see the infighting on Reddit and Twitter, and people have come up with very creative pronunciations for all of these characters' names. And some of them I'm not very confident on. So I apologize if I get anything wrong, but you guys know. There's not much I can do if I don't get a pronunciation guide. Okay, end rant. I met Landon in the carpenter shop where we can buy materials, blueprints, and building upgrades. Then I met Elsie, Adeline and Aylin's aunt. Juniper, a hot lady with a witchy vibe who runs the bathhouse. And her dog Dozy. I love that he has a portrait. Valen, hot doctor alert. I love me some hot doctors in a game. March, a handsome and aloof blacksmith. Jeez, I can't help but notice everyone is hot. No expense was spared on these portraits here, babe. Now that's what I'm talking about. The romanceable villagers have a heart on their dialogue box. Everyone else has a little circle. I'm definitely keeping my options open because pretty much every dateable villager has grabbed my attention in some way. There's also a group of kids, Maple, Dell, and Luke. Oh my God, they're so cute. Luke likes bugs. He's adorable. And Hemlock runs the inn with his wife, Josephine. We've met two of their kids, Maple and Luke, already, and their other daughter is Raina, who helps run the inn and is dateable. Holt operates the general store. He already seems nicer than Pierre from Stardew. And his wife, Nora, who also runs the Chamber of Commerce and Saturday markets. She's a very important lady. Okay, we've got two more townies. Both are in the Narrows on the west side of the map. Errol is the curator of Mistria's brand new museum. Donating to the museum is yet another way to get renown. Noted. We'll be back. The last NPC, Tarithia. She runs the tackle shop by the beach. Also noted. We'll check that out another time. I've got to turn in this request and get my reward. On the map, it says that Adeline is in her manor house, but holy shit, this house is so fucking big. I checked legit every single room before I found her office. The map isn't that accurate, but damn, who needs all these rooms? Anyways, we got 3 potato seeds, 100 tesserae, the currency in the game. So I used that to purchase some more seeds and planted them on my little farm plot. There's still some time in the day, so I went out exploring around the map a little bit. I'm still not familiar with where anything is at all. So I'm gonna probably spend a lot of time just wandering. The art style in this game is super pretty. I love how all the buildings and the stuff is designed. The UI too, so far, I have no complaints. I'm also just a pixel art girly. I love how this stuff looks. Hayden probably likes hay, right? I got some hay for ya. Oh, never mind. The animal guy doesn't love hay. I'll have to win him over some other way because I do think he is beefy and sexy. It's pretty late, past 11, and I can go inside pretty much every room. So far, I haven't run into many doors that I can't open yet, and everyone seems to be cool with a total stranger just popping in during bedtime. Speaking of bedtime, it's the end of the first day. I'm really liking this so far. If after hearing my review and watching this first day of gameplay, you're really interested in this game and don't want to see any more of it, I think you should just click off the damn video and go buy it. That's just my suggestion. For the rest of you, let's keep on exploring. Over the first few days and weeks, we slowly start building up our arsenal of tools and little systems. Aylin gives us an axe after we uncover a broken dragon statue behind a tree. We fix it up, and that night, the dragon statue turns into a romanceable character. Well, not quite. I didn't actually figure out how to romance him in this playthrough, but Calderis here is a statue that lost his memories. He's certain that magical essence is flowing again through Mistria, and we need to collect it. Essence will randomly appear while doing activities, and it essentially is used to purchase perks within a skill tree. I like this. Also, each night our town rank goes up depending on what all we've accomplished through the day, and we get little rewards that we have to go pick up. I just love how much little goodies we're getting, and I really like doing the daily quests. There's already just a perfect amount of stuff to keep up with. I was able to get the pickaxe by completing a quest with Ulrich. Get up, buddy, and give me my tool. I learned that the mines were shut down after the earthquake, got my pickaxe, and even some time with the cutie pie blacksmith, March. He's so mysterious and kind of mean. I told him I was here by special request, and he said, oh, if getting a handout from my brother counts as a special request, I'm not sure I'd go bragging about it. Ulrich, come to my room after you're done seeing Lissy out. Ooh, hot. Luke was the one to give us the net used for catching bugs. Yeah, that's a thing. I knew he would be the one to give it to us, that little nerd. I'm now a bug catching extraordinaire. Then the fishing rod is available in Tarithia's beachside shop for 500 bones. The same goes for the shovel. That's 500 from the general store too. I'm a little broke. Clearly. So, I spent quite a bit of time questing and waiting for crops to come in. The shovel, I assume, allows me to dig in this archaeological dig site. That'll be important for the museum. It works just how you would expect. There's 4 different categories for bugs, fish, crops and forageables, and then artifacts. There is still quite a bit we can't access, like the mines, but other little secret areas too. We got a letter from Adeline asking us to meet at the broken bridge on the east side of town, where a group of townies is gathered trying to brainstorm how to fix it. Luckily, I came along and have so many skills, such as gather wood and stone. We're gonna need 60 wood and 60 stone? Kind of a lot, but I'm up for the task. I'll be the wood and stone guy, and apparently the guy with no bag space. God damn it, I hate being poor. Another town rank down. I got a cooking recipe from a quest and thought I would try to use the kitchen in the tavern, and it surprisingly worked. I made my very first dish. On day 5, my first turnips have come in, and I'm already feeling like I am lagging behind. I've truthfully been using a lot of my time and energy to gather wood and stone the last few days, so I finally was able to get all of it, drop it off at the bridge, and then I turned in the quest to Adeline. Reese used all of the materials to fix the bridge, and we are back in business, baby. Now that the bridge out of town is fixed, the Saturday market merchants can visit again to sell all their goodies. Lucky me, that's tomorrow. So, we got this done just in time. Can I leave town? No? Okay, well, it's not like I want to or anything. I just thought I would try it. Raina invited us to the gathering at the Sleeping Dragon Inn tonight. Apparently, they do that every Friday. They gather. So at 5, I headed on over with all my quest items ready to go, and then was dragged to the bathhouse. Juniper had requested lilac for a special potion she's brewing, and I was the unfortunate test subject. I got a free trip to the bathhouse out of it though, and my next 5 visits are also gonna be free. I didn't ever expect to pay for access to the spa, but okay. I guess Juniper's trying to run a legit business here, you know, so I respect it. God damn it, I gotta run back to the inn. I started talking to people at the bar, and it was a group conversation outside of a cutscene. This is so cool. I'm just chatting it up with people in different groups. Like here, this table is playing some sort of D&D game, and then the top table here is playing some sort of card game. Instead of chatting everybody up individually, I was able to talk to them all within these groups. I don't know, I just thought that was neat. I bought a cooked dish to give to March because, you know, he's my current hot fave, and he didn't give a fuck. All right. I'm trying to avoid looking up people's favorite stuff for the time being, so I guess I better get used to the rejection, especially from March. Before heading to bed, I figured I would stop by the Caldera statue and offer up some of this essence I've collected in exchange for some perkage. I'm realizing just how many skills are in Fields of Mistria now. Wow. There's a lot here I haven't even tapped into at all yet. I bought up a few things that I thought would be useful. Holy shit, this is a lot of mail. I just got here and I'm already so important. Saturday market, reopening the mines, oh hell yeah, and a few gifts, a recipe for sliced turnip, and a crystal ball. I didn't figure this out until much later, but the crystal ball predicts the weather for the next day if you touch it. Kinda embarrassing. Before heading to the market, I collected some of my cash that I got from upgrading my town rank. However, I have no intention of spending this money here. This market is cool. There's quite a few booths and new NPCs to greet. Darcy sells coffee and sweet treats. Vera sells hairstyles. Louis sells new clothing items. And Mary sells unique furniture and crafting recipes. You know, I'm good. I need to scrounge up all of my money for something far more important, the fishing rod. So basically, it works just like Animal Crossing, like pretty much exact. Not like it's a bad thing, you know, I'm down for it. I got so many fishes, not enough bag space, but the major thing that really surprised me here, diving. Yup. You can jump right into the water and go diving. I totally forgot about jumping. This is crazy. I'm super impressed with how many activities there are. Anyways, I got a whole boatload of fish today from both fishing with the rod and diving. I like to imagine I'm just going down and grabbing the fish. I donated what I could, which wasn't a lot. That has surprised me during this game. A not insignificant amount of bugs and fish and forageables are excluded from the museum collection. I'm assuming they're still useful for cooking recipes, but it's just interesting how much is left out. Ayland is trying to convince Errol to reopen the mines, but Errol is concerned about the mine's safety after the earthquake. He says he would be happy to reconsider once Mistria's town rank is at least Stone Star rank. Well, I'd better get on that then. I'm not sure how far away I am from it, but I've been doing a lot, so we should be close. Hells yeah. Stone Star rank, baby. Give me all the free stuff. I don't care if you have another quest for me, Adeline. I do care about harvesting my crops though, so I quickly took care of that and went to gather up my rewards, money, and this stamina potion. It not only replenishes stamina, but increases my energy permanently. I'm gonna hold on to this. I might need the replenishment when I'm down under. It's time. Errol doesn't like it, but we're reopening these mines, damn it. The mine system essentially works the same as in Stardew Valley. We need to reach the floors first by ladder before unlocking the mine's elevators every 5 floors. There's also another dragon statue here that you can spend essence on for mining and combat perks. I am looking forward to gathering up ore for tool upgrades. My tools suck. And there's armor too. You know, I'm excited to check all that out. Our first enemy. Holy shit, I got fucked up. Our sprite lurches forward when we attack. Noted. Damn, dude, there's like, this is a lot more active combat than we're used to. Us Stardewers can kind of just spam click our way through. Not in Mistria. This is gonna take some getting used to. Some guys even throw stuff at you. I think it's time for our stamina potion. I'd like to at least get to level 5. Next time, we're totally gonna need food and more bag space. We need to bring our net and our fishing rod. You know, there's guppies and there's bugs down here. All right, first mine shaft is unlocked. I gotta go. I am terribly unprepared for this, which is exciting. Normally I have low expectations for these types of games, I'll be honest. There's a lot of room for error or to just fall flat, but I'm like fucking stoked on the mines already. Adeline needs help replenishing the emergency stockpile for Mistria, so I need to ship out 10 croppies. I don't even think I have 10 crops growing right now, but instead of spending money on seeds, I bought the shovel. Silly, yeah, I just wanted to get it now instead of waiting any longer. Not just for potentially expanding my fields, but for digging in the dig site. Ah yeah, peat and sod. Sick. There's only 2 spots, it seems, so I'll have to keep checking back each day. Storage is becoming an issue. I could probably be selling more, yeah, but I'd like to hold on to things as much as I can. I figured I would check out crafting, and wouldn't you know, there's a crafting table in front of the carpenter's shop. I don't have 30 wood to make a chest at the moment, but that's no problem. You know, there's tons of time to get wood. But why can't I craft the chest? Level 4? Level 4 what? Oh my god, okay. I think I should probably just craft a bunch of wood fencing to raise my level. Level 4, easy, but now I'm out of wood. Great. I'm annoyed, so I went out and completed some more quests. I brought March copper ore, and he reluctantly taught me how to use the forge. I even got a free copper bar out of the experience and some time with my man. He's just shy, guys. He'll grow on you. Not only is storage a problem, but stamina and health are kind of a problem now too. I'm trying to use the tools the game gives you to manage stamina better, like the spa, but it's been pretty hard to progress without preparing a significant amount of food. I think once I get enough copper to start upgrading stuff, it'll get better. But I fucked up and I died. Not really. I ran out of stamina and I completely ignored the warning signs, so I passed out in the mines and I woke up late with my health and stamina chopped. This is not what I needed. And now, Reese wants to give me a crafting lesson? I already figured that on my own, Reese. There's been a lot of lessons so far, even a cooking lesson, which, I did kind of jump the gun. But this isn't my first rodeo. So now we have quite a few options for what we want to do in the day. I'm trying to keep on top of the museum stuff for spring, and I noticed that the spring crops in the museum require a cherry. The saplings take 14 days to grow, so I figured I'd pick that one up first and then the lemon a few days later. The lemon, strangely, is not a museum donation item. See, why are some things included and others aren't? Whatever. I'm a little Stardew traumatized about cutting grass, but, I think it's all right. Sometimes the grass drops animal feed, but until I get animals, I'm not gonna touch it. I'm not too worried about the farm right now. We make a ton of money from doing quests as it is, so I don't need to be bending over backwards to plant assloads of crops just yet. Where the hell did this chicken come from? Henrietta, a pleasure to meet you. Henrietta pecks the ground indifferently to your blatant attempt to get on her good side. I see. She's a prissy one. Something that I'd like to make note of, this game has a really good amount of cute and fun details. Like you can get a free bowl of soup every day from the inn, and after experiencing my second Friday night at the inn, I'm seeing just how much effort has gone into making the dialogue just outstanding. So the first time we came on a Friday, everyone was conversating in groups, and the second time, the groups are continuing their conversations from the week before. Not only that, but we're getting to see the characters interact with each other on a much deeper level. Like Valen and Juniper are low-key flirting, you guys. I also like March a little bit more when he's drunk. He's actually nice to me. Oh god, I'm in trouble. Okay, but my favorite group to talk to has actually been the children. Last week, they let me in on their plan to sneak into Balor's room and find out all of his secrets since, he's a pretty secretive guy. So this week, we're continuing that conversation and I'm even a part of their little scheme now. I'm the lookout, Maple is the distraction, Dell will give me the cheese and potatoes to give to Balor along with a warm beer. So warm. Then they want me to steal his keys so they can snoop through his room. I do kind of have a weird feeling about this, but they're just cute kids, so I'm excited to check in and see what happens next week. Okay, back to business. A bunch of crops came in, so I gave March a potato. He seems like a potato kind of guy. He did a little cute bubble. Okay, he must have liked it. Progress. And, ladies and gentlemen, our first chest has been crafted. We finally have more storage. Now is not the time for the house to be cute. I'm just throwing it down anywhere. Now that I've shipped off 10 crops, that's one quest down, and then another quest for a wild leek down. Celine came by one day to inform me that we're holding the spring festival in Mistria that week. She asked if I would like to help collect special time-exclusive flowers for the festival. The more I collect, the better the booth's inventories and prizes will be. So of course I said, heck yeah, you get flowers just by doing stuff. Like any stuff, it seems. So until the festival, I'm just doing stuff. I collected my first artifact and donated it to the museum, baked up some potatoes to take with me to the mines, got my first flower, and even made it all the way to level 10 where a very creepy voice asked me for help. I kinda got places to be, but I'll come back. That night I unlocked magic? Jesus, there's a lot in this game. My first spell is a full restore spell for both health and stamina, and I can use it once a day. And now we have mana to keep track of too. Oh boy. Moving on up in the world. We finally got a bag upgrade, yes, and I had enough copper to upgrade my pickaxe. It actually gave me a brand new one instead of quote-unquote upgrading it. Interesting. It also increases the range in which it picks. 3 tiles now, and it's slightly more powerful. It takes a little getting used to, but it's most definitely an upgrade. I'm also able to whack at some of the bigger rocks now. The Spring Festival came on the 17th of spring. Celine stopped by to pick up all of the Breath of Spring flowers that I collected, and I walked up to town to find everyone gathered for the festival. Turns out the flower collecting was a competition, and I got second place to Celine. Girl, I was doing a lot of flower collecting. How in the hell did she beat me? I do wish the game would tell me in either of these cutscenes how many flowers I collected, because I didn't check before I went to bed the night before, and I'm kind of curious to know how many I got. Also, my first heart with a townie! Of course it's with my boo. One of the vendors sells a perfume bottle that is liked by everyone, but I sadly didn't have enough money for it. Another vendor had some Spring Festival accessories, and the food stall had a floral tea that's also liked by everyone, but a little bit cheaper. I splurged on it just to give it to my man. I am looking so desperate right now. What's cool about the festival day is that it is not a day wasted. I'm still able to run around and do whatever I want. The newest town restoration quest is to repair the mill. They want me to give them money, ass loads of stone, and copper. Girl, I don't even know where the mill is. Seriously. I mean, I don't know where most things are, so it's not really their fault. I found it the next day and started collecting all the stuff in the things. Stone is no problem thanks to the mines, but wood is another story. My next upgrade is gonna be the axe, and that helped quite a bit. There's wood chopping perks too. I can chop big ol' stumps that give hardwood. Everything was gathered on the 23rd and the mill was repaired. It's actually a pretty useful building. You make processed goods of all sorts in there. I find it so interesting that all the makers and crafting tables and such are in town in this game. At the start, at least, I think we're able to buy some of these things and place them on our farm someday. The other big thing to happen in spring, I reached level 20 in the mines. There was a tablet written in a different language on this level and a buttload of copper. Don't mind if I do. We brought the tablet over to Aelin to help translate, and he informs us that it was written in witch speak a long time ago. Today we have an incomplete knowledge of it. Much of our understanding comes from unreliable secondary sources. He suspects somebody in town might know more, and my guess that it's probably the witchy lady. And yeah, we're right. I have some thoughts about this tablet's syntax, Juniper. Silence, nerd. You tell him, girl. The tablet tells us we need to place 4 offerings. From the earth's good graces, a ruby. Catch a swiftly flowing fish of stone, a moth who gathers near flame, a brown mushroom of the mines. And then we go hunting. I figured I would start from the top again and work my way down. The mine floors are all the same layout each floor, and the contents reset when you enter and exit. I'm going down floor by floor again though, because I don't remember which floors have water. I need a rockfish or whatever. Some of the floors will be different, like I had bought a perk that will occasionally spawn treasure floors. I'm assuming that's what this is here. The full restore is so sick too, so helpful, because I really do have to painstakingly smash a lot of rocks again to spawn the ladders. We got the moth, we got the fish after quite a while. I keep getting the wrong kinds. Oh god, my inventory space. Finally, the stone loach. Jesus, no inventory space again. Okay. With the mushroom, that's everything we need. Only took, what, like 2 days? So the creepy voice was the priestess ghost. Harvest goddess vibes, but sad and depressing. She's a dragon priestess, she wants us to keep going down in the mines, and she dropped a heart container. My HP has increased, and I'll save the rest of the mines for another visit. Some more of the dragon statue's powers and memories had returned thanks to the water seal being broken. He tells us there's 5 seals in total. We've got our work cut out for us. Our new spell is Summon Rain. Score. I was so excited to use it the next day, but it rained. So the day after that, oh yeah, baby. It summons rain for the farmland only and takes up 1 mana charge. Once I left my farm, it wasn't raining anywhere else. So, that's neat for lazy people like me. The last big challenge of the season was to fill up the museum with all the spring exclusive stuff. The crops were easy. I donated my cherry, but not my lemon, and then took a look at what all I was missing. Wow. Okay. I've never fished in a pond before. You're serious? I am missing quite a few fish, actually. Shoot! And 1 spring forageable. Bugs are good. I'm not going to try to get any legendary or rare fish or bugs. I just want to get all the normal spring stuff. I started checking Balor's cart every day. He has a rotating stock of junk, so I thought it would help me with my forageable. But I actually didn't need help because I managed to stumble upon the fiddlehead on my own. So then my only problem was the fish. I started really worrying about it on the 24th of spring with just 4 days left in the season. I have 2 more river fish. I feel like I've been fishing in the river quite a bit this playthrough, so I might have wasted a lot of time on this one. I did manage to find the pond on the east side of the map. Who would have thought? We're getting somewhere. A lot of these need to be donated. A lot of them don't for whatever reason, but I won't think about it too hard. My last few fish have to have some sort of requirement, right? Like a rainy day. So I made an effort to visit the places I hadn't fished while it was raining. Boom. Walleye, river, rain, fish. I knew it. And mackerel, rainy ocean fish. That's ocean fish done. I don't think there's any pond exclusive rainy fish, but I did get a bunch of newbies on this rainy day. But now it's the 26th and I'm stressing. I still had 1 pond fish and 1 river fish left. This is when I resorted to using the wiki, guys. I'm sorry. I held off as long as I could, but I really just don't want to miss out. The fish reset when you enter and exit an area, so I used that to my advantage to not be running around so much. My last 2 fish. Paddlefish, a river fish with a giant shadow, and the brown trout, a common large fish. So by jumping back and forth between these 2 spots and only looking for these fish types, things were moving a lot quicker. I also changed my screen resolution so I could see more of the map. Ridiculous, I know, but it really did help, okay? I got the paddlefish that night and the brown trout the next morning. Done. Except the legendaries and the rares, but I really don't think I'm gonna be able to swing those. We have 2 different Friday nights at the inn that I would love to discuss. Juniper had brought a special bottle of Witchvine Merlot to share with the patrons of the bar, mostly Valen. I feel like those 2 are made for each other. And then Juniper spilled the bottle, so no one else got to try it. Bummer. Ulrich seems to be killing it at the gambler's table, and the D&D game is still going strong. The children's 3rd meeting of the Dragon Guard heist commences, and there's a little bit of a bump in the road here. There's no cheesy potatoes tonight, so their initial plan fell through. If we need Master Balor to be asleep, I say we strike at dawn. ... Del, he'll be in his room. He'll be so mad. So the next week, they were all grounded. I can't believe they actually tried to sneak into his room while he was in there. These guys are little freaks. At least we found out Mr. Balor's secret. Yeah, his room is really messy. So messy. I'm messy, but I could learn something from Mr. Balor. Is he even an adult? If you ask me, he's the one that should be grounded. I won't go into too much detail on every single little quest from now on, since there's just been so many things going on at any given time. One thing to note, the shops do sell upgraded equipment, so I don't technically have to craft everything myself. I'd rather spend money on other things right now, like animals. Hayden had us over to explain the importance of ranching. My final spring accomplishment was getting my first animal on my birthday. It was a rainy day. I gathered up the last of my spring crops and headed over to the carpenter's shop to purchase blueprints for a coop. I placed my coop on my farm in a little nook I had carved out and got it built. Now it's chicken time. My first chicken was a spotted chick named Stormy, since I got her on a stormy day. Animals don't like to be let out in the rain, so I went ahead and put some seed inside for her. We did it! We got our first animal. Nobody gave a fuck about my birthday, though. Bummer. I guess I don't really have any friends yet, but still, I would have liked the attention. Last but not least, during spring, we had reached copper rank and got not only a strawberry shortcake, but yet another stamina upgrade. We ended the season at town rank 22. Our first summer. For crops, I try to just plant some of everything I have available to me. The first few days, I really hunkered down and did a lot of foraging too. There's all new summer forageables and bugs and fish to collect, so I'm really spending a lot of time away from the farm just gathering what I can. There's even fruit trees out in the wild. What? I didn't know this. There's so much new stuff I need to donate, and of course, a fair amount of bugs and fish that I don't need to donate. The second day was rainy, and I had accidentally left my chicken outside in the rain overnight. I'm such a bad chicken mom. I am, however, not a bad fisher. Racking up fish all day, baby. And I even have some time to work on getting my storage situation more organized. There's a really insane amount of stuff to collect in Fields of Mistria, and you don't have to be a hoarder about it, but I like to keep stuff on hand for quests. So, more chests it is. It was quite a while before I actually started doing quests again because I'm kind of in catch-up mode. I'm also just taking in the sights of summer, the incredibly hot sights of summer. My jaw is literally on the floor with these beach portraits. Oh my god. And everyone in town has cute summery outfits too. I'm not okay. The next big town development quest was not really much of a quest, but more of a beautiful cutscene. I didn't have to collect any wood or stone or anything. I just got to follow along as we repaired smaller elements of the town as a community effort. Reyna and Celine joined us in repairing the road. Errol and Tarithia came to clear up some rocks, and then Reese and March repaired one of the broken stair sets. And then we got to go up to the summit and enjoy the beautiful view together. It was really lovely, and we got a whole new area out of it in the Narrows. There's a water fountain here, and upon drinking it, my stamina was restored. I just loves it. That quest might have been easy, but the next one, not so much. This game is adamant on working you to the bone. Adeline's impressed with how quickly we have restored Mistria to its former status, but she wants more. There's no reason why we can't become the best town in Aldaria. So the next upgrade is going to be for Nora and Holt's general store. I need to gather 500 stone, 300 wood, 5 copper, and 5 iron, and $3,000 for the upgrade for their general store. You would think they would at least be able to help out with the money part. But honestly, the money will be the least of my issues. I haven't ever really felt like money making was that difficult in this game yet. It just takes a little bit more time and effort with the quests. The other materials, well, that'll for sure be a grind. Since we're in a new season, the Friday nights at the inn have been spiced up a little bit. People have moved groups, and there's all new dialogue to keep up with. Hemlock and the gang at the bar now talk cocktails. Everyone's talking about Juniper and Tarithia up on the balcony, and I'm like, all right, what's the big deal? What are we talking about? They just want to know who I think would survive on a deserted island. I said Reyna because she can make a meal out of anything. These guys are still in a D&D sesh, just with some new faces, and these guys up here are starting a drawing club. I had just so much fun at the inn that night that the next day at the Saturday market, I decided to buy some cute, fun stuff for me. It's summer. Why not give myself a new look? I got myself some new hair and some hair clips. New season, new me, baby. I've only just begun to explore past level 20 in the mines. The enemies are for sure more difficult, and there's really only iron ore down here. I just feel like I'm not done collecting copper yet. Most of my tools haven't been upgraded, and that's been a hindrance for sure when trying to go deeper in the mines. They don't make it easy to farm ore. There's like no copper on the elevator levels. You need to really run through the mines quite a bit over and over. I did make it down 5 more levels in the mine, however, but I sacrificed my time and energy to do so. And the love and respect of my chicken. I left her outside all night and in the rain again. Oh my god. But it's all been worth it. I finally was able to get enough iron to upgrade to an iron sword. I'm not ready to upgrade all my tools yet, but we'll get there. Sword is great. I finally stand a chance down here. Field of Mistria's general mechanics make the mines more interesting, especially in these water levels. Being able to jump over stuff and into the water unlocks a ton of really fun gameplay and little secrets. Like, sure, send me down into the whirlpool. There's levers to unlock, ladders, and I'm having just so much fun that I even lost track of time and passed out right as I got to level 30. Worth it. Can't spend too much time down here though. I have to make sure I'm keeping track of things on the farm. I'm not really sure if I can use eggs to make more chicken, so I ended up buying another one. Maybe having 2 chickens to look after will make me more responsible. I bought a boy chicken and I think I'll be able to breed them. I actually don't know and completely forgot I wanted to do this for like the whole season. Didn't forget about my crops though. We're done with the summer crops collection in the museum, and now I feel like I should probably catch up on some of the summer exclusive fish and such. While out exploring, I actually found out that my pick works on the big ol' rocks. I just assumed that I wouldn't be able to break these yet, so yeah. Don't forget about these areas, I guess. Why didn't I check for this stuff before? Why did I think I was limited by my tools? Am I just scarred from previous farming game experiences or what? I didn't even try. I've also been keeping up with buying perks on the skill tree. I've got basically everything from tier 1 for all of the skills, and some of these have been tremendously useful. Copper Expert. The amount of copper ore required for copper ingots is reduced by 1. It really adds up, you know. Going to bed with 0 stamina gives you a stamina boost the next day. Super goated. Sunken artifacts and dive spots. Restorative cooking. Like, that's just to name a few. One that I haven't figured out the use for yet involves shiny beads. Animals will drop shiny beads when fed, either by hand or by grazing. I couldn't figure out if this meant like crops or if this was their normal food. And what do you know? Feeding your chicken by hand, drops beads. I know what to do with these guys. Chicken statue. 10 beads? 100 beads? You're crazy. We'll be back. I got all the materials to upgrade the store. Reason I went to town, added on an extension to the building. Hooray! I'll be honest, the store doesn't look that much different to me. I can't even tell if it's bigger or not because I don't remember what it looked like. But there's a few more seeds in stock, and most importantly, the bag upgrade. I obviously can't afford it yet since I just gave all my money towards the store upgrade, but I'm happy to buy up some of the new seeds. You might be thinking, okay, Liss, when are you gonna start getting to some heart events and try to romance somebody? I'm working on other stuff, okay? No, this season I really did try to make an effort on my relationships with the townies. I'm still being kind of stubborn on looking up gifts on the wiki. I'd like to try to figure out some stuff on my own. I'm only using it sparingly, really. The townies give us a lot of clues about what they like through their dialogue, so I'm paying attention. But I finally got to 2 hearts with March, and he sent me a letter in the mail with a heart on it. I'm swooning. Meet me at the blacksmith's and don't keep me waiting. I didn't even check my crops. I didn't even feed my animals. I ran my ass over to his house, okay? I was not about to keep him waiting. I didn't think you'd actually show. I hear you've been making yourself useful around town. Everybody only has good things to say about you. I said, it's been a lot of fun helping out. Fun? Ugh, we both know what's actually going on here. I actually don't know what's going on here. I don't like this. Oh, please. You're in way over your head. You come out here, no money, no experience, and you think you can just fake your way through running a farm? And now everyone in town acts like it was you who won the first place blacksmithing trophy 3 years running. Wait, what is going on? It's all fun and games now, but the second things actually get tough, I'm sure you're gonna ditch Mistria and its problems. What the fuck, dude? I went with the more rude option here. Jealousy is an ugly thing, March. Because, like, he's being really mean. Like, that was excessively rude, no? I'm not gonna put up with that. I don't know. He gave me a free copper hoe, which is cool and all, but like, I'm really turned off by that interaction. Holy shit. I thought he was just a more cautious and reserved type, not like a huge fucking dick. I'm super thrown off, so I decided to start giving out gifts to more people to see what everyone else's cutscenes were like. Balor's hot, so I was gifting him a lot. But then, Ayland was actually the next one to send me a heart letter. He asked me to meet him at the manor house to show me a particularly interesting sight on the grounds. This cutscene was a lot more tame. It didn't really feel like much of a traditional heart event, but more of a Mistria lore dump. He showed me a stele that depicts a legendary set of armor worn by the Dragon Swarm. Ayo. Skyrim check. The Dragonsworn was a nearly mythical being who aided the dragons in the ancient days of the world. Uh-oh, getting kinda nervous. Sounds a lot like what I do. Upon touching it, it opened up and a pair of Dragonsworn greaves popped out. Ayland takes them from me and heads off towards the museum, and that's the end of that one. I'm starting to wonder if these are truly heart events or what. My next one with Balor has me helping him unload his cart at the general store. Apparently he's been charging Nora really low prices, and she's very suspicious that his goods are stolen. Because how could he charge such low prices? He's the only supplier in Mistria. But I'm pretty sure it's implied that he is just that good of a guy. And yeah, these are heart events. The other townies that I have 2 hearts with haven't summoned me for anything. So we're in the early stages of getting to know the hotties. Back to business though, the quests are getting more and more complex. Quests for the merchants that only come on Saturdays? People will sometimes request 2 items at once, my lord. And now we gotta fix the bridge at the beach. There's a whole other side of the beach that we haven't gotten to explore yet. I've seen it from swimming over there, but haven't been able to reach it. 300 wood, 150 stone, 50 fiber, and 1,000 doll hairs. I'm starting to get a little worried about the wood supply. I only have so many trees on my farm, and while they spawn and grow pretty quickly, I don't want to be in a situation where I run out of wood. I decided to look it up on the subreddit and saw one of the worst fucking replies I've ever seen in my life. Oh my god, you horny dogs. But I learned that chopping any trees outside of the farm is totally chill. They all grow back fully the next day. So until I can figure out how to plant my own trees, that's just what I'll do. There's acorns and pine cones, but I'm not sure if they're used for planting. All right, got the goodies, turned in the quest, gave up the money, and boom, bridge built. Thank God, there's sage over here, a forageable I have not found anywhere else yet. I would have been really sad if I missed out on this on the museum collection. This side of the beach isn't really all that special outside of having a ton of forageables. I did find a whole other little island though. Super sick, but that was always unlocked, I think. Adeline already wants more from me. Give me a break. I don't have time for this. I want to make sure I get to level 40 in the mines before summer is over, and I still have the museum to worry about. Time for a new pickaxe. Let's get serious. I'll be honest, I kind of blazed through the next 10 levels just to reach level 40. I knew I would probably have to go back and collect stuff for the offering, and wouldn't you know it, I was right. I gave Juniper the tablet info, but she had a little bit of trouble translating it this time. Something about exotic flora. You know who knows a lot about exotic flora? Celine, the lady that's obsessed with flowers. Celine helps us translate the text, and yeah, I have nothing except the sapphire. We need a bug, a fish, and a plant from levels 20 to 40 in the mines, so back down I go. And again, I started from the bottom and worked my way through. Having the new pickaxe really didn't help much. The 3x3 square thing is not very powerful against this level of rocks at all. But hey, it does have a slightly higher individual crushing power. Also, I just now figured out that these little cracks in the ground have ore in them. Oh my god, I've missed out on so much ore. I should really be paying attention to this kind of stuff because I also had no idea that there were artifact spots outside of the dig site this whole time either. I missed out on so many artifacts inside and out of the mines. Wow, that took me way too long to figure that out. I wasn't having much luck finding the fish, so I tried resetting floor 21 a couple times to see if I could get the right fish to spawn. I'm sure there's another floor that would have been faster to reset, but I noticed that a fish more often than not would spawn on this floor. So that's the one I chose, and what do you know, it worked. Now what the hell is this jade plant? Since I kind of blazed through the last few levels, I didn't explore these floors well enough, so we're going back. Boom, found it. it's done. The Ghost Priestess is stoked. Calderis did summon me when I returned to the farm and gave me a new spell. It takes 2 mana bubbles and insta-grows crops in a 3x3 area. The gate between realms was once cared for by dragon priestesses. Dragons, magic, eons ago. The gate was closed, but who done it? I think we've heard most of this before, so we'll just keep doing our thing. Now we can shift our focus back to the museum. Through the season, I've been collecting what I can, but it's just not enough. We're clearly not keen on pond fishing. There's 1 summer insect left, and I guess I forgot to donate a sage to the museum. Sage, easy. The bug, I'm not sure what it could be yet, but I have a funny feeling about some of these missing fish. I haven't seen a single giant fish shadow in either the pond, river, or ocean this season. So I've been on the lookout for those especially, and look at that, I'm right. That's a few collections down. Oh wow. 2 big guys in the pond? Lucky me. I'll be honest, I haven't been that bad about pond fishing, not nearly as bad as I was in spring. I've come here to fish a few times in the summer. I'm surprised I haven't gotten that many new fish, but pretty much right away, I got 3 new ones. Oh, there's 4. All right. You know, pond fish really exist in this game as a lesson of patience for me, specifically. So if my suspicions are correct, I should just be missing the giant river fish. I zoomed out to 1x and reset the spot only like 3 times before it appeared, and I knew it. I am feeling so smart right now. Not smart enough to figure out the last bug though. I really do not have a single clue what it could be. So yeah, let's check the wiki. It's a beach bug. I wasn't sure what I was looking for. After a few resets, it spawned, we got it. I am happy to be done with the main summer collections. I have been seriously neglecting certain parts of this game. It wasn't until like the middle of summer that I even used the mill for the first time, and then I didn't even have any use for this mayonnaise, so I just sold it. But I'm also neglecting animals. I have not been ranching at my full potential. So just like we closed out spring with a new coop and a chicken, we're closing out summer with a new barn and a beautiful brown cow named Sweetheart. And she's a sweetheart indeed. I also got me a new chick to help with the newest quest on my docket. The Mistria food supplies need replenishing yet again. This time we're gonna need to gather up milk and cheese. Sounds like a fall thing. Yeah, we've got so many animals, which means so many beads. My 10 bead offering gave us a recipe for pudding. That's cool. We're wrapping up summer. We're knocking out quests. We're buying March hot chocolate at the Saturday market. March and I are at odds, but maybe there's a chance of a reconciliation here. I am dedicated to rebuilding Mistria, okay? You're wrong, March. I'm a real farmer. Shit. You know, sometimes real farmers do plant crops too late in the season and miss out on harvesting them. God, I wish I had enough mana right now. At least I have my beautiful new cow. That's all I got. Real farmers make their farm pretty, that's for sure. I tried to make a bunch of cute paths for my farm, but they are not the paths that I had in mind. They are squares. No, that is not what I wanted. It's fine. I'll just make some new fencing and plan out my farms prettier and upgrade some of my tools. With all of that and a shiny new town rank of Ruby, wow, look at us go. We're officially ready to take on the fall. The fall is so pink. I love it. The farm life's going good. I have no money really going into fall, so I'll be planting what I can right now and then figuring out the rest later. We're sort of in a routine by this point. At the beginning of the season, I'll plant and then head out to collect as many forageables as I can for the museum. We've got blackberry bushes, apple trees, and more. And that's our fall foraging all checked off. Fall crops, oh, honey, that is in the works. Slow and steady wins the race here. I didn't find an orange tree out in the wild, so I'll just go ahead and plant one myself. And look at me, being a way better rancher. I actually am starting to remember to put my animals inside at the end of the day. Go me. We've really got to take this animal thing seriously if we want to get this next food rations quest done. I've noticed that even if I leave food in the troughs, the animals don't really guarantee an animal product each day. When I hand feed them, however, I've noticed that they do typically produce the next day, except the cow. We only get milk whenever she feels like it, and we're really gonna need a lot more animals just in general. I want to start breeding the animals I do have, but I need both chickens to be at 2 hearts before I can start doing that. So, it's a waiting game. Or is it? At this rate, I'll never get 10 milks. It's seriously taking forever. So I bought the 10 milks from the inn. It only costs $1,200. Like, come on. That's way easier than buying and breeding an assload of cows. That would take me all season. Ah, shit, I need cheese, not milks. God damn it. Cheese requires 2 milks to make. All right, better buy more milks. The next day, I had taken my 20 milks and crafted 10 cheeses in 3.3 hours time, and then turned in my quest to Adeline. Raina used some of the rations to make a delicious meal, and all was well in Mistria. The rewards for this quest were hats, but not just any old hats. Animal hats. For the animals. I would say that was worth it. This fall was all about gifting. I don't think that doing quests give you friendship points. I've done enough quests for people I still have 1 or even 0 hearts with and nothing seems to budge. My new strategy is to give people gifts. Wow, what a concept. No, I've been trying to get in the kitchen more and make food for gifting. Sometimes it's as easy as making someone the dish they gave you the recipe for. Not only that, but like actually talking to people. We've got a new layout for the Friday nights at the inns. Elsie's running a book club at the bar. This group here is playing a board game called Lords of the Land, maybe a Monopoly type game. And Maple's running a role-playing campaign where she's the queen looking for her successor. Dell's got a bunch of grown-ups upstairs on the balcony, acting as new recruits for the Dragon Guard, and sends them on a wild treasure hunt. But yeah, I've been trying to get people gifts they would seemingly like. I don't always get a liked or loved gift since I'm just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. But I think these berries are gonna take me all the way. Giving a berry a day isn't a bad strategy, actually. It is totally helping. March, of course, gets his hot chocolate though. He's easy. Anything made with chocolate is right up his alley. My first birthday gift was to Mary. Wow, I totally forgot about birthdays. But yeah, that would help too, I guess. Okay, so heart events. First up, we've got Celine's 2 heart. She's asking us to come over to help her with a flower thing. Girl, I've got all the time in the world for you. There's a flower in an old book that she hasn't seen since she was a kid, and she wants us to go help her hunt for seeds in the area. After digging around for a few minutes, we found the bulb. I found the bulb. She takes the seed home, and that's that on that. Not a super insightful one, but it felt very Celine, since she's all about flowers, and we even get some free peat and free sod. Nice. Next up, meet Juniper at the bathhouse for a free health tonic. Ulrich's here. Will this really help me get shredded, Juniper? More than shredded, if you can believe it. Whatever shredded means. He takes the potion, and instead of making his muscles bigger, he grows bunny ears. Next up is me. I tell her I'm here to inquire about a health tonic from the message board. You're joking. You're joking, right? No, you're the one that put the ad up on the board. Arcane energies flow through you, Lissy, but I see you've misunderstood their meaning. I thought you were someone like me, here to stake out your territory, but it's clear to me now you're hardly a threat. Yeah, I'm just a farmer. Jeez. Instead of confronting her about using the townsfolk as test subjects for her potions, which suck, by the way, we ask, can't we all just get along? Oh, you sweet, naive dear. Damn, I'm trying not to be so confrontational. She says that she'll stop experimenting on the townsfolk if we take their place instead. Wow. We've learned a lot here today about Juniper. She's a little more evil than I thought. Hot, honestly. Valen's 2 heart event was for my annual at the clinic, a place I haven't really been to before now. Hayden's freaking out. He's injured. He thinks he's dying. He just has a twisted ankle. Valen asked me to head down to the basement and retrieve something for her, and her basement is weird and scary. But honestly, that's none of my business. She gives Hayden whatever the medicine is. He's miraculously cured, and now it's my turn. I've got a clean bill of health, but all I'm concerned about is whatever she gave Hayden, and can I have some? Oh, she didn't like that. Damn. Well, she's a lot more secretive than I thought. We're just racking these up, honestly, since we've been trying to give gifts practically each day. I have a new heart event. This is fun. Hayden's having a bunch of us over for a little get-together. March arrives a little late to the party and gets his seat stolen by none other than Miss Henrietta. Move it, chicken. Oh, she did not like that. Plenty of other places to sit, March. He's such a hater. This is her house. Wow, and look what you've done. I mean, I love that Hayden loves her, but I'm not so sure that I really want a third wheel with a chicken. It was a while before I started having more heart events, so I'll fill you in on all my progress until then. Not only are we farming and doing all the things, but fishing too and questing. The chickens have been putting out major products, so I'm able to knock some quests out, and now we're ready to breed more chickens. Speaking of chickens, the next Mistria upgrade is to Hayden's ranch. In order to start selling more types of animals, his barn and coop need an upgrade. Sheeps, horses, rabbits, oh my. 400 wood, 500 stone, 8 iron, and $4,000. Jesus. Do I look like I'm made of money? I guess now's a good time to upgrade the axe to iron. That should help with the grind of it all. Iron bars won't be much of a problem either, but my bag space is starting to become one. I think it's time to get that upgrade, but I'll have to sell off some random stuff to make it happen. I like to hoard, but even selling all of my randomness wasn't enough. So I got the brilliant idea of selling a ton of this furniture. And oh boy, did that really help. It was kind of a cheese, actually, since pretty much every time I get a furniture recipe reward from the museum, I also get the furniture piece. And I'm not great at making money yet, so yeah, I'll take what I can get. The materials, easy, got them all within a few days, and after another haul of random shit I had lying around, I had enough money to do the ranch upgrade. Hayden now sells all sorts of animals, ducks, horses, wabbits, sheep, and there's still 2 more types to unlock. I got a horse thinking it would be a horse that I could ride around town, and then it wasn't. It wasn't a horse you can ride, actually. It's just a horse that sits inside. God damn it, Pudding, you're useless. All right, it's mine time. Let's knock out 41 to 60 in the next few days. The enemies down here are mostly the same, slightly harder for sure. The gem for these deep earth levels is emerald and the ore is silver. This time I'm being so good and fishing as I go instead of scrambling to do it for the offering at the very end. And I don't know if it's just me or if this is a silly little thing to nitpick, but I'm starting to notice a lot of repeat levels in this section. I'm fairly certain actually that they reused the same 5 floors twice in a row in the same order, but also I wasn't paying attention too hard. I'm just trying to haul ass down here. With 10 more floors to go, it's time to get the silver expert perk and craft ourselves a shiny new silver pickaxe and a silver sword. Why not? I kind of blazed through these ones, so I'm not sure how many repeats were on these levels. I'm just trying to get through it. I do like me some treasure levels though. Those are nice. Some of these floors are definitely unique. I just want to know what the offerings are going to be though. Okay, level 60. Hero, you cannot proceed further yet. Return later. What? You know what? It's fine. Damn, I had some really good momentum going too. This is the first time I'm reminded that this game is in early access though. Not bad. I'm like 30 hours in, but damn, I can't lie. It did take the wind out of my sails for sure. Well, now I'm sad. I really like this game. I don't want stuff to end. We haven't hit a total brick wall yet though. There's still a lot we haven't gotten to, like fish, for example. Turns out you can buy fish from the tackle shop, sometimes even fish you haven't caught before. Don't get me wrong. I'm out here fishing, but it's nice to get the donations out of the way. I didn't get around to finishing all of my fishing until the last week of the season though. By now I'm comfortable just looking up whatever seasonal fish and bugs I end up missing on the wiki. I'm cool with it. I've made peace with it. It's saving me a lot of time knowing what size shadow I'm looking for. There were a couple of stinkers that I just wasn't getting, so I got the perk that makes rare and uncommon fish more common. The big ol' ones too. I was on the hunt for the giant shadows. I'm convinced that the perk saved me a lot of time because those rare and uncommon puppies, oh, they were coming out. We got the last bug too, and that was the collections. The next business that's not my business, due for an upgrade, the inn. We're tasked with sprucing the place up. Reyna wants an upgraded kitchen and bar, new furniture and decor, and they'll even sell some new dishes and items. Sounds great. That doesn't sound like it'll require too much in the material department. Oh, 500 stone, 600 wood, and others. All right, Gonna be honest, I think that the stone and wood requirements for these town upgrades need some balancing. I'm just kind of wood fatigued at this point. It really does take up a ton of time to gather up this much wood. I mean, even if trees dropped just a little bit more, I'd be happy. Sure, there's perks, but even after getting all the wood chopping related ones, I'm just not convinced that this needs to be as grindy as it is. God damn it, I still need 200 pieces. Curse you, trees. I just think that the trees regenerating every day is a little silly too. It's like purely there to just be a clicky grind. This is like the littlest grind ever, but yeah, it gets a little annoying the more town upgrades that you do. As far as money goes, I'm still scrounging for pennies a little bit. I just haven't really put that much effort into farming at all, but I'm trying to work with what I got. Processing crops into either mill stuff or cooking dishes does give the crops a lot more value in general, so I'm doing the bare minimum here. And selling furniture. You know, I am not above cheesing this. Okay, with all of our money gathered and the last of the wood donated, it's time to upgrade the inn. Teamwork makes the dream work, everybody's pitching in, and voila. Tablecloths. Nice. The next day, I got a letter from Adeline telling us that that's essentially it for early access as far as town upgrades and repair quests. Our second brick wall. I still have more I want to show you though. We've only just started to scratch the surface of our heart events. As in, I'm pretty sure I got all the 2 heart events in fall and there's still a whole other round of them at 4 hearts. Let's talk about Adeline's 2 heart. We get a glimpse into what it's like to run the town. You know, she's a little worker bee. She asks us to triple check some tax documents and I enthusiastically agree to do so because I want her to know that I am also very excited about working. Very. Raina's 2 heart event brings us to the inn where she serves up a wild berry pie. It's delicious because she made it, of course. Adeline stops by to let Raina know that Mistria has been accepted into a culinary event cooking competition thing. Something that we don't get to participate in the game yet or anything, but it's a very cute cutscene that shows just how passionate Raina is about cooking. Reese's heart event involved me bringing wood over to the carpenter's shop, and Landon asks us to go meet him by the ruins just south of the house. Reese is there, hanging out, on break. He tells us that before the earthquake, this stump used to be a big tree with a beautiful birdhouse in it. He then asks us to help restore the former birdhouse, and heck yeah, we're down. To be continued though. Last but not least, we reached 4 hearts with none other than March this season. His brother, Ulrich, asks if we can come by to help with some of their extra work at the blacksmiths. And what do you know? When we show up and offer up a helping hand, March comes by and has something to say about it. I don't know why he is such a little hater ass. Many hands make light work. I don't need platitudes, especially from you. Like, should I just leave? God, he's so hostile. March eventually gives in and lets us assist. You know, it's tense for sure. That was fun. Yeah, I mean, thanks, Lissy. I'm going inside. I need to cool down. He's so silly. I'm hoping that he'll warm up more over time. Okay. You know, my crush is kind of back. Sorry. We close the season out with some more animal stuff. Not only do we have a new boy cow, but a sheep. Finally. I'm running out of space though. Luckily, Reese has blueprints for upgraded buildings. Perfect timing, not so perfect system. I bought the new coop, right? But it's its whole own separate building. It's not like an upgrade to the existing one. So I guess we're building a whole other coop. I wanted to work on my farm layout more anyways, so it's not like I'm upset. The medium coop holds up to 8 animals. I decided to transfer all my chickens over to the new coop, which you do through the menu. And then once that was done, I moved the smaller coop over to where I wanted it to be. When you demolish a building, you get the blueprints and all the materials back, so it's not horribly inconvenient or anything, but it took a while to figure it all out. I sold a bunch of stuff so I could build the bigger barn, but I did it out of order this time and had to use the daycare to store my animals so I could move the barn where I wanted it to go. This is the complicated way. Whatever, you guys don't care, but my farm looks just a little bit prettier now. A little bit more well put together. And that's what I care about at the end of the day. Gonna be honest, this playthrough is for sure winding down. Since we're done with the early access mine and town upgrade gameplay, all we have left really is collections and heart events. That's fine, I'm happy to do it, but this was definitely a slow winter. Building the bigger coop and barn unlocked alpacas and capybaras, but I'm a little short on cash again, guys. What's new? I need to save my money for seeds. We have winter crop responsibilities, you know. And you guys know the drill by now. Foraging, foraging, foraging. We're now in town rank 40, the iron tier. future. Fishing is definitely on my mind. I'm aiming to knock this out earlier in the season than I typically do since I don't have much else going on. I unlocked a perk that allows me to swim in the schools of fish and it drops half of its contained items. That's crazy. There was one forageable I was having a hard time finding, so I had to look it up. I knew it was a rose hip because Elsie asked for it in a bulletin board quest. Turns out they only grow on the bushes near the manor. I never come up here, so that's my bad. There's a pond here too? Where the hell have I been? So forageables done, fishing almost done, had to do a little resetting to get the big guys, and then I had more tide caverns fish, so I reset one of the floors a few times until I had caught both of them. I never encountered a legendary fish. Turns out you need to be level 30 fishing to even unlock the ability to do so. I'm kind of over it, honestly. It gives me something to come back to for the future updates. All in all, I filled out the museum pretty good. Floras at 100%, fish at 94. Insects got me. When I checked on this at the last day of the season, I had totally missed a winter bug, and it only spawns on a blizzard day. I don't even know the difference between a blizzard and a snowy day. Kind of embarrassing, so I'm gonna move on. Since I had a ton of free time, I built up quite a collection of animals during the season, which was pretty good for money making, but I will be honest, I never sat down and figured out how to make money in a meaningful way. This was the extent of how big my crop field was at any given time. I got pretty lazy. It was enough to get more animals though, because some of the requests on the board were for the more obscure animal products. But all the money that I did spend, I did just buy animals with. You know, they are freaking cute. I love seeing them thrive. Aside from the daily tasks and collections, our only real goal is to get all of the heart events and cutscenes that are available in this playthrough. Right now, since we're in early access, the cap is at 4 hearts for every villager. And we've gotten 1 4-heart cutscene with March, so we need to get everybody else's. Going to the Friday nights at the inn, giving gifts, staying on top of talking to everyone every day is kind of the only thing we've got going for us. I unlocked a perk that allows us to sometimes get a likable version of a dish that everyone is guaranteed to like, which I honestly feel like is a total cheese, but it helped me get my hearts up with everyone pretty quickly. Especially NPCs like the Saturday market vendors who we only see once a week. None of them are romanceable, and I didn't get my hearts up with them very much at all, but I tried, okay? Some people fell through the cracks, but I'm pretty sure I got all of the 4-heart cutscenes this playthrough. Celine's concerned that the seed we found still hasn't sprouted, so we go over to help solve the mystery. We added just a pinch of plant food and just barely enough water to dampen the soil, and we waited. It sprouts right away, and Celine is happy, but that's it. That's the 4-heart event. A little tame. Aylin's was similar. He invites us to the Western Ruins to help search for another piece of the Dragonsworn armor. We get to dig in all sorts of areas. Hey, what gives? This area is not even unlocked yet. Whatever, we found a helmet in pristine condition hidden in the wall, and he takes it to conduct more research. Valor's was a little more interesting. He asks us to meet him at the inn to give us business advice. When we arrive, Hemlock invites us to wait for him in his room. Valor's room? We haven't been in here before. He left his journal out and we read a little bit. I've secured a reliable supply line from the capital by adding to the bulk orders made by neighboring towns. From there, I can handle the final transport of goods to Mistria myself. This will keep my prices low until Mistria stabilizes. Despite Nora's grumbling, she knows that Mistria is in a precarious position and the town needs every advantage they can muster. I knew it! He is a good guy. I decided not to read anymore because I feel like that's a little invasive, don't you think? Baylor walks in and he definitely can see we were reading his journal, but at least we didn't read all of it. I don't want you to get the wrong idea. What benefits the town benefits me, understand? Yeah, big guy. You totally like it here. He then compliments us on our shipments and gives us some business advice before walking away. Now, I haven't been great about snooping around in people's rooms and looking for secrets, but I did a little snooping in Balor's room and there's some interesting stuff in here. I might have a crush on him. We'll have to explore that more next time. Reyna invites us to help her shop for ingredients for her cooking competition, and Holt offers up some puns and some dad jokes and a special surprise, a dragonhorn mushroom. I believe we found our ingredient. She brings us back to her room at the inn and makes us a dish using the mushroom. And I ate the whole fucking thing, I guess. Wow. Valens asked us to bring over some peat for research, bacterial research. She invites us down to her basement to check out her family's experiments, and apparently she's been trying to replicate the medicine that was used to cure Hayden's ankle last time we were here. She's not typically very forthcoming with this and is trusting us to keep this secret. For whatever reason, I offer to drink some of the experiment for science. Geez, I am really just the town guinea pig, aren't I? Of course, it goes horribly wrong. I nearly die, but Valen fixes us right up using the last of the medicine. And now we need to help her make more medicine. Great. The next stop is Juniper's for Heart Event. We get to drink yet another mysterious concoction that supposedly has the power of a dragon, except it turns us into a horse instead. Juniper is troubled by this, so we try to cheer her up by neighing and doing a cute little dance. She's sweet underneath her mysterious and very threatening aura. Adeline's 4 Heart event gives us a choice. The capital is offering to give Mistria a special earthquake relief fund. Do we ask for stone and wood? Or, as Aylin suggested, a cookie care package to help with the town's morale? I chose stone and wood because I'm not 5 years old. And the next day we got some in the mail. 2 letters with stone and wood. In fact, I'm sure it's a bug, but I will not complain. Reese didn't like anything I gave him. No food, no berries, nothing. I decided to try giving him hardwood, and what do you know? He liked it. I feel dumb. That was pretty obvious. And now we're gonna meet him in his room to help with the birdhouse. We need to plant a hawthorn tree to attract a Mistrian bluebird to our future birdhouse. Valor interrupts us to bring the sapling. We plant it together, give the tree some compliments, and we'll build the birdhouse next time. The last one, Hayden, had a few extra shipments of animal feed and he wants to give it to us, so he asked us to come by. Henrietta's here, of course, and when we say hi, she seems fine, but Hayden's got a worried look on his face. That bad behavior with March last time. He's not the first person she acted up with. He wants advice on how to get her to be a nicer chicken. You know, she's just too smart for her own good and she has a bad attitude, so I suggested her taking her out on a big day out. Not today though, I guess next time. I do really like the dialogue in this game. I feel like some of these heart events could use a little work. Some of these are very insightful on the characters' quirks and feelings, and others are a little too surface level in terms of character development, but I'm still really impressed with what the developers have here. We'll be back, for sure. My very last task before ending my first playthrough of Fields of Mistria: make my farm just a little bit cuter. I decided to forego the house upgrade because truthfully, I don't care to farm any more stone or wood. I'm just about done. That's where we're leaving Mistria, 1 year down, hopefully many more to come. I had mentioned at the beginning of this video that I would grade this game with an A-. Why not an A+, you ask? It's not because the game's not done. We know it's not done. It's an early access release. To grade it based on that would be so horrible. And then I did have a few gameplay gripes during our playthrough that I definitely discussed earlier in the video, like the repetitive mine floors towards the end, the would you please stop asking me for wood issue, but like listing out all of the small little quality of life things doesn't feel very productive. I would guarantee that they probably know about the stuff that I had little gripes with, and I just feel like giving them a list of small quality of life things wouldn't be very helpful. The improvement that I would like to see is within the story. Not only are we rebuilding a town, but we're learning about all of these magical forces in Mistria and like this dragon thing, and we're befriending the townspeople along the way, but I just don't know if there's enough conflict that I've seen in the story yet. There's just nothing that we're truly up against, except for maybe March. But that's, you know, that's just not significant enough for me. I'm not gonna sit here and compare this game's story to any other farming game's story right now. Plenty of farming games actually lack this overall conflict and end up being pretty good games. But I feel like our character needs just like a little bit more motivation in the world. I like getting to know our character through dialogue, and I like getting to see where our character fits in Mistria, and all of this magical things that are happening are super great. I just feel like we need more. I fear that life in Mistria is almost too easygoing. This all could be coming in a future update though. I mean, we're not even through any of the storylines yet. There's more to come. And you know, there's always a chance that I don't know what I'm talking about. I would love to hear your opinion. Thank you so much for watching and enjoying my playthrough of Fields of Mistria. I very much appreciate it. Also, I have a second channel. Please feel free to go subscribe to Liss, my second channel. I've been doing a lot more like casual stuff on there. If you liked this video, you would probably like my most recent Stardew Valley playthrough, where I go very in depth on the JojaMart of it all. With the 1.6 update, oh, it was fabulous. It was such a good time. I hope you're having a great day and you continue to do so, and I will see you in the next one.